Technology is either a curse or a blessing. It depends on how we use it. Welcome, namaste, and vanakkam. I welcome you to the Navratri Tech Talks, organized by Mahindra Technical Academy in association with Prasiddhi Forest Foundation. Such a splendid way to celebrate Dussehra and Navratri. Bundles of insights every day. It has been a pleasure inviting so many young innovators. Today we have a really proactive genius, Pihu Pant. Today, I'm very sure you all are really going to love today's session, as you will get a new perspective about technology. She's a 14-year-old. She's a student of grade 9 in Seth Anandram Jaipuria School, Ghaziabad. She loves to sing, read books, do yoga, to draw, and seek solutions to the problems she faces in her day-to-day life through technology. She's passionate about designing solutions and figuring out which ones suit the situation she finds herself in. She participates in many tech events which have broadened her knowledge of technology. Now I invite today's young innovator, Pihu, just a minute, to start with today's session. So the stage is all yours. And I request Mr. Sainton to invite Ms. Pihu.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Prasiddhi. I mean, the way you have already introduced Pihu, I don't think I have much role to introduce Pihu. I actually got to know Pihu since we did the Kinderspark last year. And she was part of one of the teams, which probably joined a little late. And I was a little worried about this part, that whether they will be able to catch up. Much to my surprise, and probably the whole Kinderspark team's surprise, not only did they catch up, they did exceptionally good in the limited time that was there with them. And I mean, maybe almost a year, we were not much in touch. But then when I just interacted with her a few days back regarding this program, I realized that, there is a huge change in her in itself, the way she has grown as an individual, her personality, everything has gone, I mean, leaps and bounds. So it's definitely a great honor to be in this, where I have Pihu to be the speaker over tonight. And thanks to Dr. Shankar for giving such an amazing platform where we all get to hear so many young innovators every evening.
Saintan, if you can tell a bit about the Kinderspark so that more kids in the audience will also know about it.
I'll say a little, because I'll keep a little for Pihu herself to say, because she has a lot of first-hand talk. So Kinderspark is a program that Mahindra Technical Academy actually planned last year. A few years back, we did once, and then last year it was a mega event that we planned, where schools from all across the country were invited, and the students across the classes of class 8 to 12 were allowed to participate in that program. It was a 6-month program overall. So the first few months, probably 1.5 months, was on where the students were trained on design thinking. So there was a lot of interactions that we used to have, and lovely interactions that we used to have every weekend. And I think Prasiddhi also used to join, though she was not taking actively part in it. Her age group was not there, but she still was there every single weekend, I remember. So overall, we had close to 120, 130 young students participating in groups of 4. And they initially learned about design thinking, then they started applying design thinking till the last day, when it was an amazing event that where we saw these young people. They actually pitched their ideas in front of some very eminent speakers. And probably on one hand, when we began this event, we realized that by the time they end and by the time they are going to pitch, it is going to be a little too much for them, for the overwhelming judges who are there. But the kind of feedback that we used to get, that we got from the judges after the event was like, these are some real thought leaders, probably the future leaders who are going to come, the amazing ideas that they have shown. So it was not only a great event for, I think, the students, but for us, the whole Kindaspark team. It was an eye opener. So that's about Kindaspark. I'll keep little for Pihu to talk about it.
Sure. Thanks, Sayantan. So Sayantan was one of the mentors who mentored many teams. And every Sunday we used to meet and we used to train the students on design thinking and various innovation tools and techniques. It was all online. And over 6 months, they worked on a wide variety of problems, came with brilliant innovative ideas as solutions, built prototypes, and finally, on the final day, they could demonstrate that prototype and win prizes. So this was a 6-month-long event. Every Sunday, we used to meet and have a lot of fun. So when we do it this year, I'm sure many of you in the audience would also get a chance to participate in this program. That's the reason we thought of mentioning this right at the outset. And that's how we found Pihu. Otherwise, we are sitting in Chennai and she's in Ghaziabad. We would have never met each other. Thanks to Kindaspark and mentors like Sayantan, we could actually spot such brilliant talent almost on the other end of the country. So thanks a lot, Sayantan.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think now the stage is open for you to begin.
Thank you so much, Sayantan sir and Shankar sir and Prasiddhi for giving such a brilliant introduction. And I hope that now you know a bit about me. So when I first got to know I would be speaking here, the first question that came to my mind was, why would anyone want to listen to me? Because all the other 10 young girls who have already spoken and will be speaking have achieved their goals and are setting new ones. But then there is me, who has just started her journey. So I'm just going to share my screen, so just give me a minute. So I hope my screen is visible. Okay. So, each one teach one. So according to my observation and research, my fellow speakers represent the 20% of young people who have reached their desired goals. But then the 80% are like me, who are still finding their road to success, who try so many things, but can not come to a conclusion on what to stick with. So I will be sharing my screen again and to a poll. So we would be doing a poll, a Mentee poll. So I'm going to share a link with everyone in the chat box for the Mentee poll. I hope the link is visible. So this is a Mentee poll where everyone need to answer if they're part of the 20% of people I mentioned or part of the 80% of people I mentioned. I can't see any people. Okay, I can see 80%. Okay.
The website is not visible.
The website, okay, my screen is not visible then. Wait, just a minute. Okay. So I hope it is visible now. 6 people have already answered. Come on, there are many more people in the call. So we have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4.5, 3, 3.5, 3.25, 2, 2.75, 2.5, 2.25, 1, and 0. Let's go. So there are 10 people replied. So I was very much right that 80% of the people belong to the category which I belong to, who don't know what they're doing, basically. So I myself have done so many things up till now, like singing, yoga, taekwondo, swimming, coding, arts and crafts, listening to music, I guess, reading and writing. I'm pretty good at academics and speaking. But one thing that I kept coming back to was learning new technology and imparting it to my peers, formally and informally. So I have been coding and have been interested in technology since I was in 6th grade. But my understanding of the two was very naive initially. It had been like human evolution. Taking the example of transformation from apes to modern day humans, and all the other stages in between, like hunters and gatherers. But instead, mine was from naive, then to becoming super naive and confused, then to understanding technology fairly well. And now I am teaching technology to students. Can you believe that? That girl who was so confused and naive is now teaching technology to other students of her age. How ironic, am I right? Now you must be thinking, why should you believe me? Don't worry, I'll give you many reasons to believe me. Now, how did it all begin? So before last year, I didn't really take part in major events and competitions for the same, well, besides a few workshops and online programs. But then came Kinderspark, who I give the whole credit to Dr. Shankar, Sayantan sir, and Kinderspark for inspiring me to start investing my time in and experimenting with technology. The best part of Kinderspark was that we had to participate in a team. And that is where my journey of actual peer learning began. Then I understood that it was not I anymore. It was we. I actually remember all the times we all solved our own queries by just discussing our ideas with each other. The curiosity of learning in a fun way grew many folds. When you have fun in learning, you get attracted to learning more. I think everyone can agree with that whenever we are attracted to the way of teaching, we tend to learn more than we learn usually. But once Kinderspark was over, I was back to my normal speed and way of learning. And I missed being in the team. So, do you remember that I talked about the stage of hunters and gatherers? Now that was my stage at that moment. So I started looking for tech competitions in which I could participate in a team. Don't get me wrong, I can very well participate in a competition on my own. But working in a team gave me a better sense of understanding of peer learning. I participated in national and international competitions like Technovation Girls, Toykathon, NASA JPL, and many more. Some I won, but in others I got praise for my efforts, which is another nicer way of saying that I lost. So the events had unearthed the potential in me and had encouraged me to explore more in the field. So these are some pictures and certificates of all I had done. I had participated in Kinvas Park. I had participated in Minecraft Global Challenge. I had gotten a certification from code.org on website development. And I had participated in Technovation Girls. So this is a video of the app that we had developed in Technovation, which was called Stains, which my friends and I had made to normalize the talk of menstrual cycle. I'm going to show a little bit of it.
Welcome to our app Stains. Welcome to our app Stains.
Hi, Pihu. Swati this side.
Hello. Good
Hi,
evening.
Pihu. So just a suggestion, if you have a downloaded version of this, you can just play that, because I think there's some network choking happening. That's why it's not loading your video.
Okay, just a minute.
Sure.
Welcome to our app Stains.
Pihu, we may continue.
Yeah, you could just talk about it and we will get back to the video at the end of your talk, maybe. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. So the Stains was basically about how to normalize the talk of menstrual cycle. It had talks about what is healthy for you to do in healthy practices of menstrual cycle, unhealthy practices of menstrual cycle, and how we also added climate action into this. We gave ways on how to make biodegradable menstrual pads in order to decrease pollution. So yeah, I think the video should be visible now.
Welcome to our app Stains.
So I think my internet is just acting up a lot. So I'll move on to the next slide and I'll show the video at the end.
Pihu, I just found your video on YouTube and it's playing.
Okay. So I'll just share that video in the end of the end of the session.
Sure.
So let's come to the backstory of each one, teach one. So my mother told me to start with what you're best at and subtly added that I was good at explaining things to others. So while exploring many tech courses, one common thing I noticed about all of these courses was that they had teachers using jargons, which made me afraid of taking those courses for a longer period of time. So remember when I said that I was becoming a super confused and super naive person? This was the reason. Though I enrolled in these courses, but after a week or so, I used to get bored of them. Not because I wasn't interested in learning what they were teaching, but instead I couldn't understand anything that was being talked about. But when the same thing was discussed in separate groups among the students, I could somehow understand everything much, much better. This is what we call peer learning. And this is what my initiative, Each One, Teach One, is all about. Now, another mentee time. I'm going to share another link for another mentee so that, yeah, just a minute. So I hope the link is visible. I'm going to, while everyone goes there, I'm going to change the screen. So I already have one response. So the question is, have you ever come across a similar incident, but when you were discussing it with your friends, you understood it much better? Yes or no? It's a simple question. Everyone can answer that, I hope. So we only have 4 responses and we have about 23 people in the meeting. Only 5 responses. Come on. Again, 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 3.5, 2, 2.5, 2.25. Come on, you have extra time. 1.75, 1.5, 1.25, and 0. So we have 9 responses and majority of you guys said yes. So I was right. I can tell that our friends know us. They know the way we learn. So now, did you guys know that peer learning is much different from working in a group? So to understand peer learning a bit better, let's look back at its origin. There are 2 people, Vygotsky and Piaget. I'm not going to show their pictures because they look like they regret their life choices. So they developed 2 widely accepted theories that have made lasting contributions to our social understanding of learning. And in the process, they developed a foundation for peer learning. Now, based on both the theories, we can form an ideal definition for peer learning. The process in which students learn with and from each other is what we call peer learning. And the upper hand that it has is that it allows learners to focus on understanding the problem rather than solving it. And this is exactly what we do in coding. It's the exact same process. Instead of just moving on to solve the problem in code and start coding, we sit with people around us, we discuss the problem with them, we empathize with the problem, and then we come up with a solution, and then we implement the solution by evolving it. It also develops a spirit of collaboration and cooperation among learners and makes them more effective. Now remember, I said that I would give you enough reasons to believe me. Well, these are 2. Now, Each One, Teach One, the initiative. I endorse peer learning because some of my experiences in taking solo courses have not been so smooth. What is my initiative? Now you know me by now. I love explaining and I am good at coding. That's what I like to think. This is what I took advantage of. I designed 4 curriculums to start with. Don't worry, they're all free. My courses include music production through code. As you can see, here is the shared video. So I'm going to share my screen. Instead of showing a video, I am going to actually show you how to code music. Now we go to earsketch.com for this. I have already made a sample. So I've already made a sample. So if you can hear this, please tell me if you can. Now run. So these, what you can see here, these blue numbers, these are the number of beats in the number of timestamps. These are what we call timestamps. So 1 beat in 2 seconds. Now let's play this. So I think it was pretty clear, but these, if we, let's say fit media, this is Python, by the way. So this is Python. So if we think about this, these blue numbers, it is the extension. So I'll teach you how to create a new script. This is one script. This was one I made before this. So I'll make a new script. So we just have to click on new script and type the name of the script, Navratri Tech Talks. Now we can change the language, Python, JavaScript. I'm just going to do Python. Create. Now one good thing about this is that if a person is a beginner and they find it hard to type the code, you can just switch to a block mode. And you can just put drag and drop blocks in this. So maybe set tempo, fit media. Fit media is what we use here, sounds. So sound collection is that we have some extra, a lot of sounds, groups of sounds, just different groups of sounds like R&B, pop, hip hop. So it's many different kinds of groups of sounds. And when we if we do this, there are more sounds in this. So we drag and drop and put them here in fit media. So fit media, these are the medias that we fit here, and then it's the number of tracks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the number of tracks. So it just goes on this way. This is a very easy tool, and these are just curriculums and instructions. So these curriculums are very easy to follow, and you can watch them to start coding music, your own music. Now I'm going to share my screen. Now, music through code. My first curriculum was we use earsketch to code music. That might be exciting to you, and I showed you just now how we use earsketch. So kids get involved in fundamentals of design thinking in this course, which is first, analyzing, second, empathizing, third, development, and fourth, iteration. So step 1, analyzing the chords that you insert in your sample. Step 2, understanding how to get the desired tune. So understanding how to get the desired tune is very important. So step 3 is what next beat to choose. What beat should we choose to make this good? Now, where to put it? That comes in step 3 only. Now, what beat to choose and where to put it. That is very important to have a structured piece of music. Step 4, listening to it again and again and making changes till you get the desired tune. That's relatable to you, right? We analyze the problem, we empathize with it, we develop a solution, and then we develop and design a solution, and then we iterate it and test it again and again. But there is one difference in this process. A child is not doing it alone or with a teacher. Children are helping each other to understand the process of achieving it, and together they create a piece of music, making learning more fun. Now let's take another example, a different one, app development. Another very interesting and popular topic among students. The course follows the same process. Now you can see here, these are some curriculums that I had designed. So these all include the same process: analyzing, empathizing, development, and iteration. But the outcome is a bit different. It is an app. As you can see the shared presentation, the path I follow is to make children curious. And the course is screen change, role of variables, conditions, loops, screen components, and so forth, to complex development techniques. Now, I know you can see these videos are on YouTube, but you won't be able to find them because they are unlisted. Because we only use these for for the channel that we do and for teaching other people. So these won't be available. You have to join me to actually be able to see those. Now, you might be thinking, what's the fun in it? These are just some examples. But if you closely see the joy of learning in the picture, you will understand that learning the most difficult process at ease. I have 2 more courses. I know that there were only 2 mentioned, but those are just examples: website development and core programming. You can see it very well by yourself. The stress-free environment and me being the goofball mentor will help you ease up to the jargons of coding. Well, by now, you must have understood that you can only teach coding to people who are willing to learn it. And people who are willing to learn should be attracted to the courses and curriculums. I hope you are too, and I expect to see more entries in the coming days. Now, I'm going to clear up a myth or misconception that many people have, that people have to be good at maths in order to be able to be good at problem solving, logical thinking, and coding. Now, no one needs to be good at math to be able to apply logic. People with high mental ability and mental agility are the ones who are great at logical thinking, problem solving, and coding. I know coding seems a bit intimidating at first. So the curriculums that I have designed are starting from easier levels and then moving on to difficult stages of coding. They're fun, trust me, they're fun. You can see the reactions of people. I know they're anonymous, but still. Now, to start off, we first begin with, okay, wait. Now there's a Mentee. I'm going to share yet another link with you guys for a Mentee. Now this question is that, have you ever tried block coding? It can be of any form. So link, share. Wait a minute, I'll share my screen again. Yeah. I hope my screen is visible now. I can already see 3 responses. So only 3, more than 20 people are present. 4, now 4. Come on, quickly. 5. Let's do the count of 10 again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. 10, 11 people. Great. Now, most of you haven't. Okay. Most people haven't done coding, but some people have, which I'm very happy to see. Okay. Now to start off, we begin with block coding. This was the question, right? Wait, let me share my presentation and I'll show you everything. Okay. So block coding. We start off with block coding as it gives some confidence to people and helps in building a basic understanding with the concepts of coding. For block coding, we use multiple softwares like MIT App Inventor, Code.org, and Thunkable, among others. Now, I'm still teaching students coding through blocks just to brush up their concepts and understanding. But gradually, I will be moving on to core programming, where they would type the codes and syntaxes instead of using drag and drop blocks. You have to join me to learn that. Just a reminder. You can learn them using YouTube and other channels as well, but I make the environment a little more flexible for learning. I make a lot of jokes, but they're terrible. You can see here some shared thoughts. I had shared them before, these ones that the students had shared, participating in each one, teach one. Now, the aim of each one, teach one. Again, let's go back to memory lane. What I previously spoke. It is not about I. It is about we. What do I want to achieve from it? Many of my acquaintances suggested me that it would be a successful business model. But then I started this because I suffered from the same problem which many suffer from. How can I make an opportunity from someone suffering? Remember again what I said earlier. It is not me, it is we. It is about we, us. The learner learns from me and then mentors other students. So it becomes a chain, or you can call it a growing community of learners, where we learn from and with each other. Now, girls in STEM is a very big topic. Why each one teach one is important in upliftment of girl ratio in STEM. Now, let's give a bit brief on what STEM actually is. STEM, S-T-E-M, stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. It is considered the key to innovation and creates many job opportunities. STEM teaching and learning goes beyond the mere transfer of knowledge. It is the most important skill to be developed in the 21st century. It engages students and equips or provides them with critical problem solving, creative and collaborative skills, and ultimately establishes connections between the school, workplace, community, and the global economy. Now, if we talk about girls in STEM, only 18% of girls in the tertiary education are pursuing STEM studies. But in comparison to boys, there are about 34% of them in the same field. Even within the STEM fields, there lies a gender divide, with a similar number of boys and girls pursuing natural sciences, while far more boys looked to engineering, manufacturing, and construction. So girls in STEM means to promote girls to be more innovative and to embrace their talents for innovation. Now, why each one teach one and why not each one teach code? Because all I've talked about till now is teaching code to other kids. So it's not each one teach code. It is each one teach one, as you've seen, which means to not just restrict ourselves to code. It is about sharing whatever we are good at. So to share, I expanded this concept to teaching English to people from neighboring countries because I think I'm pretty okay at English. Now, I made a Flipgrid link, which I'm not sure if I'll be able to share right now, because again, you have to join me for that. And made small videos, how to converse in English, like introductions and how to introduce yourself. So again, let's go back to the question again that I first asked. Why is my talk worth listening to? So you have seen my journey in 30 minutes. One thing must be clear by now. if I can do it, because I'm a very confused person, if I can be here, you all can do whatever you want. Helping each other learn with what we are good at will also promote what I like to call global thinking, leading to a better future. So before I just finish my talk, I would like to sing some lines of a beautiful song called The Climb by Miley Cyrus. It'll just take 2 minutes of your time. So I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying, you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. 'Cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Just remember that your efforts never go to waste. Thank you. Now, before we leave, there are some common questions people ask me. When free courses are available on the internet, then how is each one teach one any different? I know this is a question that a lot of people might be having in their minds right now as well. So I know that courses are available, but they're not as structured as I have made mine. And there are no relatable mentors these days. You cannot find relatable mentors these days. And retention, if you can't find relatable mentors and mentors you can have fun with, like me, retention, it's not there. Proper retention isn't there. And with me, I think you can remember pretty well with what you've learned. Now, the second question is, what courses are good for children to start coding, to follow? Now, I have a list. I've made a list. So I'm going to read from there. Free Code Camp, which I also mentioned yesterday in yesterday's talk, is one of the best online resources you can use. Now, there are also more free courses by Harvard's college, Caltech, Georgia Tech. And if we remember earlier in the talk, I had given an example of music through code in EarSketch. Now, EarSketch is an initiative started by Georgia Tech. And then there are IIT Delhi also organizes code camps. And then we have Coding with Harry. Code with Harry is a very good YouTube channel that you can refer to when you need to if you need to start coding. And then there is the Odin Project and Solo Learn. These probably 7 to 8 resources are very good if you want to start coding. Or you can just join me, again, a reminder. And can a young child as young as age 5 start coding? Of course, yes. Even when I was in grades 1st or 2nd, the first thing we started with was, which I'm going to give the example of, Scratch. I know Scratch isn't that difficult. For me, it isn't that difficult, but it is pretty good. It has its own curriculum, so I have something to share in that. Wait, just a minute. Yep. So it's one of the curriculums. This curriculum is it's animating with cards. So it is also based on block coding. So it'll just start off. It'll give you a push. It'll give that child a push in the right direction. So yeah. You can just access these on scratch.mit.edu. Yeah. Wait. Now, before ending, I have one more thing to share. If anyone wants to join or anything related to this talk, My email ID is h1teach12410@gmail.com, and my phone number is 8851084895. I can share it in the chat box. And thank you. This was the talk. I hope you guys learned something and I inspired you, because that was the goal for today's talk. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks a lot, Pihu. We thoroughly enjoyed your talk, especially the song. That was a real surprise. So many people in the audience seems to like that song. So it's a favorite for many of people in the audience too. So really nice. It's really good. I'm sure a lot of us would like to join your Each One Teach One. Don't be surprised if you find me and Sayantan also registering. We will definitely, it's fun. We'll do
Yes,
that.
sir. It's an honor.
Yes. A lot of people just appreciating you. Many people say your voice is so melodious, so nice. So he seems to be multi-talented.
Sir, I am here because of you and Santan, sir. You guys have inspired me since Kinder's
No, beautiful. What you did today is really very inspiring. Let's see.
But it was an honor to speak here. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
No. We
Thank
thoroughly
you for
enjoyed
the opportunity
your talk.
as well.
Yes. Yes.
You have a website of each one teach one that you can share?
Sir, it is in the making. So whoever asked that question, wait, just let me see the question. Yeah. Okay. So
somebody, Dr. Shanta Shankar, is asking, how did you reach out to international students? How did
sir,
you go beyond India?
Even when I was talking about the courses that I do, so I met a lot of international people there. So we have had connections with that. Yeah, so I just, whenever we have kept in touch, and when I asked them if you want to learn coding with me, so they brought their friends as well. So I just taught them coding through that.
Excellent, excellent. All your activities, did it pick up a lot of speed during this last 2 years when you were all no school, you were all learning from home? Did it help at the time to do it more of it?
Only, sir, after Kinderspark only, my whole journey had taken a boost, basically.
Really? Oh God.
Given me a boost.
Nice. That's such a short time, because I thought you have been doing this for a long while. It's just after Kinderspark you. Okay.
Yes, sir. So most of it started after Kinderspark only.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I had a question for you, Pihu. There is a lot of, I see a lot of empathy essential for when you are, as a teacher, you are teaching students, that too mostly of your age. So did anytime something happened which was like very unique, something eye-opening, you didn't know before about?
So for me was that when I was teaching students, it was an eye-opener that whenever I gave them examples, that students learn best from examples rather than listening and just listening to a person talk, because that is very boring. In my opinion, listening to a person talk all the time is very boring. You just start sleeping. For me, I have a very big example for that, empathy and stuff, because each one teach one, other than Kinderspark, it was for physics for me, because in school, whenever we were learning physics, just listening to my teacher talk, my teacher is very good at teaching physics, but when I listen to a person talk for a very long time, like 35 minutes to 1 hour, that is a lot of time. So a person gets bored. So this is what I took from my school and from my first-hand experience of mentoring other students, that it is better to learn by examples. That just and one thing, that it was a very big experience for me, that because one thing same, I cannot learn without examples, because that is the way I've always learned things. I'm given real life examples. Real life examples give you a relatable meaning to it. In coding, it's very technical. Coding is a very technical thing to learn. And when we relate it to real life, it is what makes it so interesting, that, wow, coding is something we do on a computer, but we can relate it to real life. So that was a very revelating moment for me.
Um, in this each one teach one sessions, do you teach live or is it e-modules and pre-recorded videos? How do you do this?
But it was both. It's both. I sometimes whenever I'm not free, then I just when I'm just busy with schoolwork and exam, I just put e-modules, and then whenever I have like a ample of free time, like summer vacations or winter vacations, I'll teach them every week.
Do you also guide them on their own projects?
Yes, sir. So one of my friends, she also wanted to start the stains project of building biodegradable menstrual pads. She wanted to do that, so I had given her multiple links from YouTube. I taught her how to cut the clothes and make layers of clothes, and it was a very good experience that someone is coming to me for advice. So it was very fulfilling to me as well that I could help someone.
Nice, very nice.
I see there is a question on joining Kinderspark. Whenever that's up, we will definitely let you know when we are planning Kinderspark, and then definitely we will love to have you on board.
I'll be the first to join.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, you could be a mentor this time.
Your role may change.
Really. So to answer Vaishnavi, yes, what you need to do is just share your contact details. When we launch Kinderspark this year, we will let you know. Since it's going to be online, we don't have restrictions on the number of the people or where you are located. It's everything is online. So we'll be most happy to accommodate you. Best thing is for you to join as a team of 3 or 4 people along with your friends so that you can do your project as a team. So that's something you need to plan for. And you could choose a problem of your own, or we could give you a set of problems from which you can choose. But it may not be as long as 6 months, because last time it was 6 months because there is a lockdown and we wanted to use the time to teach as many things as possible. This time it could be shorter, maybe 2 to 3 months, but I'm sure you'd really enjoy it. And what you would learn from this could be useful for you in many of your other projects too. So just share your coordinates and we will inform you when we launch Kinderspark this year.
One question I had, Pihu, on something I think a little generic, which is when you have been teaching coding mainly, do you find any specific area in coding where students mostly struggle?
So they struggle with logical statements because that is the most difficult part of coding, to apply logic. So, sir, if and then statements are very difficult. So if we give example that if we join each one, teach one, then we can learn how to code in an easy way. So, sir, live examples are very easy to do. So whenever I teach them how to code, like I just did right now, I'll just put a live example. Like if we join each one, teach one, then we will be able to learn how to code easily.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. When you can bring in relatable examples, it becomes very easy. Sure, sure. Do we have any questions? Okay, Prem is asking how to sign up for your each one teach one.
I would be happy if many people sign up. I had given an email, so I'll just type it here. You can just email me. I'll be there 24/7. There are sleeping hours, but still, I'll be there when I'll be awake. Each one.
You had a slide with your email and phone number, the last slide. Yes. Maybe you can just
I'll share it, sir. I'll share
flash that. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Pihu, what software did you use to make this presentation? It's come out really nice.
Sir, I wasn't able to unmute while I was presenting. So, sir, I made it with Canva. Holy Grail of presentation, best. Sir, and sir, if anyone wants to join each one, I'll be sharing a form soon with Sayantan sir and Shabdar sir through mail.
Sure.
So it will be maybe sometime after this talk, but I'll be sharing a form as we're under construction with the website. So there won't be any links on there. So I will be sharing a form where there will be, you can just sign up. I'll get that form. I'll have the list done. I'll mail you because there'll be an email area. So I'll RSVP you with that. So I'll also type my phone number and email in the chat box as well.
Yeah. Great.
So sir, I've typed my phone number and my email ID for each one, and you can just mail me or message me on WhatsApp or any other messaging app you have.
Cool.
Sure.
But even on the call, I could tell that I was being very confused.
I think your confusion leads to a lot of creativity and innovative ideas. So it's good. It's a good type of confusion. Good.
Thank you so much, sir.
Because some confusion is needed. Actually, it's good. Otherwise, we become too complacent and very relaxed. So this is also a source of creativity and innovation. Good.
Thank you.
Nice. Great. So I think we had a great session today. We have been having a series of talks over the last few days. This is one of the best. We really thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks. I know that you had injured yourself and you are not well. Still, you managed to put together this presentation.
Sir,
amazing.
I broke my hand.
How much? Yeah.
Sir, literally the week before I had broken my hand, which was very unfortunate.
Oh God. Stay careful. Be very careful. Take good care. But I'm glad that you could manage to put together this presentation in spite of your injury. So thanks so much. Thanks a lot for giving a great session. I'll go give it to Prasiddhi so that she can formally thank. Okay. Over to you, Prasiddhi.
Okay, just a minute. So, such a magnificent talk, Pihu. I loved your talk as you showed the importance of teamwork, learning, and so much more in the soil of knowledge. Your session was very interactive as it had a lot of Mentee time and a song. And the best part is the participants saw the different ways of how they can get connected with technology, STEM, coding, and other learning methods. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, that we all would enjoy the session. So we really did enjoy your session. And thank you so much, Mr. Saintan, for introducing us to this multi-talented genius. A special thanks to Dr. Shankar for creating this platform for us young innovators. And definitely, thank you so much, the audience, for joining us today. I hope you all are collecting new insights and a gentle reminder, only one day to go for the quiz, where you will be able to earn the exclusive G3 EcoKit. And now, to save this amazing golden memory, I request all of you to on your cameras so that we can take a screenshot. So we can say G3.
G3.
1, 2, 3. G3. Amazing. So I hope you all enjoyed this session, and let's meet tomorrow, sharp 6, again with one more amazing talk and one more young innovator.
So friends, tomorrow 6 o'clock we have a talk, and then day after tomorrow, which is Sunday, we have 2 talks, 6 to 7 and 7 to 8. And after the talk, Prasiddhi's quiz is there, and there are prizes to win. And the quiz is based on what all you have been hearing over the last few days from the various talks. So look forward to meeting you tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Take care. See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
On this note, I conclude today's session.